Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the exploration vessel Meridian, gazing at the stars on the main display. The year was 2387, and humanity had been traveling through space quietly for more than 2 centuries. One rule guided every human ship: observe, but never interfere with alien life. Jake had been leading deep space missions for 15 years, and his vessel belonged to a hidden fleet charting the galaxy while studying other species from afar. No alien race knew of humanity's presence beyond Earth, and that secrecy was exactly what Earth's leaders demanded. The bridge was calm, filled only with the steady hum of the engines. His crew was small but exceptional. At the science station, Dr. Lisa Park monitored quantum readings from the surrounding void. She was the most brilliant mind Jake had ever encountered, capable of solving puzzles that baffled whole teams back on Earth. At communications sat Ben Hayes, whose duty was to monitor alien transmissions and master their languages. Ben spoke 47 tongues fluently and understood twice as many more, ensuring the Meridian remained hidden while gathering intelligence. Below in the engine room, engineer Sam Rodriguez kept the ship's advanced systems running. Sam had rescued them countless times with his uncanny ability to make impossible repairs from scraps. At the helm, pilot Sarah Kim remained ever alert. The finest pilot in the human fleet, she could thread her ship through asteroid fields that would obliterate others. Her reflexes were near superhuman, and her calm never faltered. The Galactic Coalition governed most of known space, a union of 47 species who believed themselves the galaxy's most enlightened power. Their fleets were vast, their weapons formidable, and they prided themselves on peace and wisdom. What they did not realize was that humans had been observing them for nearly 100 years. Earth's vessels hid among asteroids and behind moons, cloaked by stealth systems invisible to alien sensors. From the shadows, Earth scientists had dissected every detail of Coalition technology. Though the Coalition kept records of Earth, those files were ancient. Robotic probes had visited centuries ago, when humanity was just learning to launch rockets. They still assumed humans were confined to their planet, struggling even to reach their moon. Jake studied the star charts glowing on his console. The Meridian patrolled the edge of Coalition space, in a region known as the Outer Rim. Sparse traffic made it ideal for human survey missions. For 3 months, they had mapped this sector without sighting a single alien vessel. Suddenly, Ben's voice cut the silence. "Captain," he said, tension sharp in his tone as he adjusted his headset. "I'm receiving a distress call." Jake turned toward him. "Source?" "Kepler Station," Ben answered, fingers darting across his panel. "A Coalition research outpost, 6 light years from our position." Dr. Park looked up from her console. Dr. Park looked up from her science console. "Kepler Station researches volatile quantum phenomena. They deal with space-time rifts and other experimental fields." Jake walked to Ben's station. "What kind of distress?" Ben listened a moment longer, his face draining of color. "Their rift generator malfunctioned. They're reporting an expanding tear in space-time." "Put it on main speakers," Jake ordered. The bridge filled with frantic alien voices, clicking and hissing in the dialect of the Alteran Republic. Ben translated swiftly as the words came. "Emergency. Quantum rift expanding beyond control. Request immediate evacuation. Space-time unstable. Collapse in 72 hours. Dr. Park's hands moved across her console, pulling up quantum data. "Captain, if a rift reaches critical state, it could destabilize multiple light years of space. Any inhabited systems nearby would be annihilated." Jake felt a cold weight settle in his chest. "How many on Kepler?" "Records list over 800 researchers from 12 different species," Ben answered after scanning his database. "The nearest Coalition fleet?" Jake asked. Ben checked military channels. His expression hardened. 3 weeks away, even at maximum speed. The Outer Rim isn't heavily patrolled." Sarah turned from the helm. "Captain, we can reach Kepler in 18 hours. Jake studied the star chart. 800 lives waited on that outpost. The Coalition was too far away. Only the Meridian could intervene. But helping would mean breaking humanity's greatest secret. For centuries, Earth had built its hidden network, unseen and unknown. Exposure now would change everything. Dr. Park rose from her station. Captain, I've researched quantum rift theory for a decade. I might be able to stabilize their field. The Prime Directive forbids contact, Jake reminded softly. The Prime Directive also commands us to preserve life, she countered. If this cascade spreads, it won't stop at one sector. Jake looked at his crew. They had followed him through dangers uncounted. He trusted them as they trusted him. And more than that, they were human. Humans did not abandon others to die. Ben's voice broke the silence. Captain, their signals are worsening. The rift's growth is accelerating faster than their models predicted. Sam cut in from the engine room. Captain, I've been analyzing their tech. Their containment systems are crude compared to ours. I could help them. Jake closed his eyes. 800 lives weighed against the secrecy of an entire species. But when he opened them again, his decision was set. Sarah, set course for Kepler Station. Maximum velocity. Yes, sir. Sarah's fingers danced across the helm. The Meridian shifted toward the call for help. Ben, keep scanning coalition channels. Report if anyone else responds. Already listening, Captain. Dr. Park, prepare solutions for rift containment. Use everything we know. I'll have models ready by arrival, she promised. Jake lowered himself into the captain's chair as the stars blurred into motion. In 18 hours, humanity's veil would fall. He prayed they would be in time to save 800 lives and stop a catastrophe that could consume entire star systems. The age of secrecy was ending. The Meridian dropped out of faster-than-light near Kepler Station, and Jake felt his breath catch. The installation was enormous, a city of metal suspended in the void. Towers, labs, and corridors sprawled for miles, housing scientists from across the stars. But it wasn't the station that froze Jake's blood. It was the wound hanging nearby. The rift looked like reality itself torn open. Space bent and warped around it, stars stretched and twisted, arcs of lightning snapping across its edges. Every few seconds it pulsed outward before collapsing inward again. My God, Dr. Park whispered. It's larger than I expected. Sarah guided the Meridian closer, careful to skirt the distortions. Captain, gravitational disruptions are massive. That thing is pulling everything within 1,000 kilometers. Ben was already tuned to the station's signals. Their distress calls continue, but weakening. Power systems failing. The main screen magnified Kepler Station. Whole sections were dark. Escape craft scattered from its hull like insects fleeing a collapsing hive. Yet hundreds remained trapped. Open a channel, Jake commanded. Channel open. Sir, Ben confirmed. Kepler Station. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the vessel Meridian. We received your distress call and are here to assist, static crackled before a voice answered in rapid clicks and hisses. The computer translated swiftly. Unknown vessel. Identify species and authorization. This is a coalition emergency. Civilians not permitted. Jake glanced at his crew. This was the turning point. Kepler Station, we are humans, from Earth. We have no coalition authorization. But we are here to help. Silence stretched for nearly a minute. When the voice returned, it was tinged with disbelief. Humans! Your species was catalogued as primitive. How did you reach us so quickly? Dr. Park stepped forward. Captain, let me speak. I understand their science. Jake gave a nod. She moved to the comms. Kepler Station, this is Dr. Lisa Park, quantum physicist. I believe we can help stabilize your rift containment. Another pause. Then a different voice broke through, this one halting but intelligible in human speech. Dr. Park, this is... I am Commander Zier of the Alteran Republic, the alien voice declared. I command this station. How is it possible that humans wield faster-than-light travel? We can explain later, Dr. Park replied firmly. For now, we must focus on stabilizing your emergency. Can you transmit your containment field specifications? Yes. Sending now, Zier answered, confusion thick in his voice. Data streamed across to Dr. Park's console. She studied it, frowning. Their containment systems are decades behind ours. No wonder the rift breached containment. Sam's voice crackled over comms from engineering. Captain, I'm reviewing their schematics. I can already see 6 improvements we could implement. Jake made his decision. Commander Zier, we're docking with your station. My engineer and scientist will assist in stabilizing the rift. Absolutely not, Zier protested. Unknown aliens cannot be permitted inside a coalition research facility. Commander, Dr. Park said evenly, Your rift will reach critical mass in 60 hours. Our systems calculate cascade failure that will annihilate everything within 5 light years, including 3 inhabited systems. Silence followed, long and tense. Finally, Zier spoke again. Very well, but you will be monitored at all times. Your weapons must remain offline. Understood, Jake replied. Sarah, guide us to their docking bay. The Meridian drifted toward the massive station. From the viewports, alien researchers gathered, staring in open astonishment. The human ship's sleek curves and advanced alloys looked utterly foreign compared to Coalition design. Ben, Jake ordered, monitor every outgoing transmission. Once we dock, word of our presence will spread. Already on it, Captain. Chatter on military channels is spiking. Dr. Park and Sam prepared to depart, gathering the specialized tools that might stabilize the rift. Jake briefed them carefully. We're here to save lives, but reveal only what's necessary. We don't know how the Coalition will react to our capabilities. The Meridian touched down inside the docking bay with a muffled thud. Cameras showed atmosphere flooding in as security units surrounded the human vessel. Their weapons stayed holstered, but tension filled the air. Captain, Ben said quickly, a priority transmission has been dispatched to Coalition High Command. First contact has been reported. Jake's stomach nodded. ETA? 3 hours at FTL. Then in 3 hours? The galaxy learns humanity is far more advanced than they believed, Jake muttered. The airlock hissed open. Dr. Park and Sam stepped out to meet a cluster of alien scientists. Commander Zier was unmistakable. Tall, thin, four-eyed, his green-scaled skin shimmering under the station lights. He stared at the humans with disbelief. Your species matches our ancient records. Yet your technology? He gestured at the Meridian. How is this possible? Sam smirked faintly. We've been busy. Now, show us your containment systems. Time is short. Escorted into the depths of the station, the humans disappeared among labs and corridors. Jake remained on the bridge, monitoring streams of chatter. Reports already spread like wildfire. Words such as impossible and threat assessment flashed across multiple alien languages. Captain, Sarah said quietly, once the Coalition learns, they'll start hunting for other human ships. Jake nodded. Humanity's secret fleet numbered in the hundreds, hidden across the galaxy. But once the search began, discovery was inevitable. Ben, send coded signal to Earth. First contact protocols are active. Message away, sir. On the main display, the rift pulsed, swelling larger with every beat. Within hours, success or failure would be clear. 800 alien lives, and the secrecy of humanity's expansion hung in the balance. The galaxy would soon understand humans were not primitive, but a spacefaring civilization that had been studying them for centuries, and that truth would shake every government to its core. Dr. Lisa Park entered the vast laboratory of Kepler Station, surrounded by alien scientists who regarded her with awe and apprehension. The lab soared high, its equipment like forests of metal reaching for the ceiling. Holograms displayed the rift's unstable growth. Commander Zier introduced her to their chief physicist. Dr. Park, this is Dr. Nexali, leader of our containment efforts. Nexali's crystalline body shimmered with inner light, her form like living glass. Her voice rang like delicate wind chimes. Dr. Park, your presence is astonishing. Our records suggest humanity only recently achieved spaceflight. Those records are obsolete, Lisa said briskly, eyes scanning their failing systems. Your generators run at 60% efficiency. The harmonic alignments are disastrously off. Nexali tilted her crystalline head, her features glinting in surprise. Our harmonics were derived from our most advanced models. Lisa pulled a compact device from her pack, a human quantum calculator capable of solving equations in seconds that took Coalition computers hours. May I? Proceed, Nexali said, gesturing to the console. Lisa connected her device and began entering new harmonic frequencies. The alien scientists gathered close, silent as she unraveled equations that had stumped them for weeks. There, she said minutes later. Adjust to these frequencies, and you'll see containment stabilize by 30%. Nexali verified the numbers, then activated the changes. Immediately, the containment field strengthened, chaotic energy snapping into smoother patterns. "Impossible," Nexali whispered. "You solved in minutes what eluded us for weeks. How?" Meanwhile, Sam Rodriguez was in the engineering sector, with a team of coalition engineers clustered around him. Sam dismantled their containment generators and began altering them with tools from his own pack. "Your power coupling efficiency is a disaster," Sam said, shaking his head. "You're bleeding 40% of your energy through harmonic interference." A six-armed hegemony technician with mottled gray skin frowned. "That interference is unavoidable with our current limitations." Sam grinned and produced a compact human device. "Not if you route power through a quantum buffer. Watch." In less than an hour, he had rebuilt 3 of their generators. Output surged, and the containment field stabilized with startling strength. The alien engineers looked on with a mix of awe and unease. Back aboard the Meridian, Captain Jake Morrison monitored the chatter-flooding coalition networks as word of humanity's presence spread. Ben Hayes translated at his console, his expression tight. "Captain, I'm intercepting high-priority alerts from at least a dozen coalition worlds. They're demanding explanations." "Any sign of a military response?" Jake asked. "Admiral Crichton of the Hegemony Fleet has already issued a general alert," Ben replied. "All coalition ships are ordered to report human contact." Sarah Kim swiveled from the helm. "Captain, if they begin searching, they'll uncover our observation posts across the galaxy." Jake's jaw tightened. Humanity had concealed monitoring stations around every major coalition world. If those were found, their secret century of surveillance would be laid bare. Inside the station's laboratory, Dr. Lisa Park worked beside the alien scientists. She had isolated the true flaw in their containment design and was devising a radical fix that the coalition minds had never conceived. "Dr. Park," Commander Czar said, his tone hushed, "your grasp of quantum mechanics surpasses everything in our records. How long has your species studied such phenomena?" "Long enough," Lisa replied, adjusting the rift stabilizers. "But, Commander, we must talk evacuation. Even with improvements, the anomaly is still expanding." Dr. Nexali's crystalline frame pulsed with unease. "Evacuation would take at least 18 hours. "We have more than 800 researchers aboard," Lisa calculated quickly. "At the current rate, we have maybe 12 before cascade failure." Silence hung heavy until Sam Rodriguez strode in, his clothes smeared with grease, alien engineers trailing him. "Doc, I boosted their generators by 60%. "The field should hold longer." Commander Zefar's 4 eyes widened. 3 hours of work achieved what our brightest minds couldn't in months." "Your people are brilliant," Sam said modestly. "They just needed different tools and fresh thinking." Lisa scanned the updated readings. "Sam, you've bought us time, but not enough. The rift is adapting to containment." "Adapting?" Nexali asked, startled. "Quantum rifts aren't simple tiers," Lisa explained. "They evolve. The more we resist, the more they learn to push back." The coalition scientists exchanged troubled glances. Their own research had never hinted at such behavior. "So what's our next move?" Czar pressed. Lisa studied her equations, then lifted her gaze. "We stop trying to contain it. We redirect it." "Redirect a quantum rift?" Nexali's crystalline voice cracked. "That's impossible." "Not impossible," Lisa said firmly. "Just dangerous. We can force a feedback loop, collapse it with its own energy." Sam eyed her schematics. "Doc, that means manually deploying a resonance device inside the event horizon." "I know," Lisa said quietly. Commander Zephyr stiffened. "That would be suicide. The distortions will annihilate the pilot. The rift blocks remote control," Lisa said. "It has to be manual." Captain Morrison's voice cut in over comms. "Dr. Park, I'm listening. I'll take the mission." "Absolutely not," Czar protested instantly. "If your species is this capable, your survival is invaluable. Use an automated drone." Jake's voice was steady. "We don't leave our own behind. And we never ask others to take risks we won't accept ourselves." The alien researchers looked stunned. Their society had long embraced calculated losses. The concept of a leader offering themselves to save others was foreign, yet strangely. Hours. That left only a 2-hour window. Lisa Park looked around at the mixed circle of humans and alien scientists. Then we'd better begin. As preparations unfolded for the most dangerous operation any of them had ever attempted, Captain Morrison knew humanity's secrets were unraveling faster with each passing hour. Soon the galaxy would learn the truth, that humans possessed knowledge and technology rivaling, even surpassing, the Coalition's best. But before that reckoning, they had to save 800 lives and stop a disaster that could consume star systems. The rift loomed outside, pulsing larger with every surge, space itself tearing wider. Lightning flared across its jagged edges, bending reality in impossible ways. In Kepler's main lab, Lisa Park stood over the control station, her quantum calculator glowing with the final deployment sequence. Commander Zephyr hovered close, flanked by scientists from a dozen worlds, each face drawn tight with fear. "Dr. Park," Nexali said, her crystalline tones trembling, "the rift has already exceeded projections. Are you certain this plan will succeed?" Lisa checked her equations again, then exhaled. "The physics are sound, but quantum rifts don't play by rules. There's always risk." Captain Morrison's voice came over comms from the Meridian. "We're ready here. Comms array modified, AI online." In the shuttle bay, Sarah Kim ran checks on the small craft bearing the resonance device. Its hull bristled with added shielding, engines overcharged to survive the storm ahead. "Shuttle's ready, Captain," she reported. "But I still say it needs a pilot. The distortions could fry our signal." "Negative," Jake replied. "We stick with Dr. Park's plan. Too dangerous for manual flight." At his console, Ben Hayes was buried in Coalition chatter. His face darkened. "Captain, I'm detecting massive fleet deployments. Over 200 warships mobilized under Admiral Crixton. Destination? Unknown, but they're moving toward the outer rim. I think they're hunting for us." Jake's chest tightened. If the Coalition found their hidden outposts, the galaxy would see humanity as spies, or worse. The peaceful contact he'd hoped for was slipping away. Back on Kepler, Lisa initiated the countdown. "All stations report ready. Deployment in 60 seconds. The shuttle launched, streaking toward the fractured horizon. On the main display, all eyes followed its approach as the rift's warped gravity tugged violently at its path. Radiation bled across its hull, glowing red-hot. 30 seconds, Sarah reported, hands tight on the remote controls. Then the rift convulsed, unleashing a surge of twisted space-time that battered the shuttle. For a heartbeat, it seemed lost, but Sarah's precision flying pulled it back on course. "Deploying resonance device," Lisa said. The small capsule detached and drifted closer to the rift's edge. Almost instantly, interference spiked. The device wobbled off course, signals scattering. "I'm losing it," Ben cried. "Control link is collapsing." Lisa fought her console, fingers flying. "The distortion's too strong. We need more power." "I can boost the array," Sam said, already rewiring. "But it'll fry our systems." "Do it," Jake ordered. The Meridian's comms surged with raw power. Sparks burst from consoles, lights flickered across both ship and station. "Signal re-established," Ben shouted. "Device back on course." Relief swept the room, then froze as new alarms flared. The boosted array had lit up like a beacon. Coalition monitors across the sector had detected them. Military bands buzzed with activity. "Captain," Ben warned, "Coalition forces are demanding our immediate surrender. Admiral Crixton himself is ordering us to stand down and prepare for boarding." Jake glanced at the timer. 3 minutes until deployment. "Ben, ignore them. We finish this first," Czar stepped forward. "Captain Morrison, Admiral Crixton commands the Coalition's strongest fleet. Defy him and you'll be treated as hostile." Jake's voice was steel. "Then that's the risk we take." Lisa broke in over the tension. "Device nearing final position. Resonance cascade in 90 seconds. On the main display, the capsule shimmered near the rift's edge. Reality around it splintering so severely the device appeared in several places at once. 60 seconds, Lisa called. Then fresh alarms wailed. Czar's eyes widened at his console. "Coalition ships emerging from FTL. Admiral Crixton has arrived with his entire battle group." Through Kepler's viewports, colossal warships materialized, blotting out the stars. Armored giants bristling with weapons locked their sights on the tiny Meridian. A cold, precise voice crackled over the comms, speaking flawless English. "This is Admiral Crixton of the Hegemony Warfleet. You will power down your vessel immediately and prepare to be boarded." Jake looked at the clock. 30 seconds. Seconds remained. "Admiral, we're conducting a rescue." 800 lives are on the line," Jake said. "Your unauthorized presence is aggression," Crixton replied coldly. "Power down now or we fire." 20 seconds to deployment, Dr. Park reported, fingers flying. Jake's voice hardened. "Admiral, in 20 seconds we either save this station or everyone here dies." "You can shoot us after." The silence stretched, broken only by the ticking countdown. 10 seconds, Lisa called. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deploying resonance cascade. The device pulsed, releasing energy into the rift's core. For a breathless moment, nothing happened. Then the tier imploded like a collapsing star, folding in on itself until it vanished with a flash that bathed the sector in white light. The crisis was over. 800 lives spared, but the silence that followed was worse than the rift. Dozens of warships now ringed the station, every cannon locked on the tiny meridian. "Captain Morrison," Crixton's voice came back, low and dangerous. "Explain how a primitive species solved what our greatest minds could not." Jake looked at his crew. The galaxy had just seen humanity's true face, and nothing would ever be the same. "Admiral," he said calmly, "I think we need to talk." The conference chamber aboard Crixton's flagship dwarfed Jake. A vast, curved table seated admirals and generals whose fleets could erase worlds. Crixton himself towered 8 feet tall, armored hide gleaming like living metal, red eyes burning with anger as they fixed on the human across from him. "Captain Morrison," the admiral rumbled, "you will explain faster than light travel, quantum mastery, stealth systems." How? Jake had dreaded this since Kepler Station. "Admiral, humanity has been spacefaring for 2 centuries. We developed these technologies ourselves." Chancellor Valessa of the Centauri leaned forward, silver hair shining. "Captain, our records place your people on one planet just 50 years ago." "Your records are incomplete," Jake replied carefully. "We chose to remain hidden." The chamber erupted. Translations filled Jake's ear. Spies, infiltrators, deceivers. General Thoxer of the Reptilian Alliance slammed the table with a claw. "How many human ships are embedded in our space? How long have you stalked us?" Before Jake could answer, alarms blared. Red lights washed the chamber as Crixton listened to an urgent comm. His metallic face hardened. Dark space signatures. "A void swarm approaches." Silence fell. Jake had heard only whispers of them. Cosmic parasites that devoured star systems whole, transmuting matter into fuel. Dr. Nexali hurried in with shimmering data tablets. "Admiral, the swarm is massive." "Over 10,000 entities, near light speed. How long?" Valessa asked, her melodic voice sharp with fear. 72 hours until inhabited systems." Crixton rose. "Mobilize every fleet. Evacuate frontier worlds." Jake listened, unsettled. The Coalition thought only in brute fleets and firepower. They would be slaughtered. "Admiral," Jake said quietly, "I may have another way." Those glowing red eyes locked on him. "You would fight the swarm?" "With one ship." "Not just mine." Jake tapped his comm. "Ben, transmit recall. All human vessels in Sector decloak." Confusion swept the room. Then, across sensor screens, human ships emerged, one after another from asteroid belts behind moons, within gas clouds. 50 advanced vessels revealed themselves in under an hour. "Impossible," Crixton growled. "How did they evade our sensors?" "We've been preparing for this day a long time," Jake answered simply. First contact came 18 hours later. Coalition scouts met the swarm's vanguard and were annihilated. Reports described living shadows that consumed everything, evolving to resist all weapons. Crixton's fleet engaged. The Coalition fought valiantly, but energy blasts only fed the swarm. Tactics crumbled as the enemy adapted. Within hours, retreat was the only option. "Our weapons are useless," Thoxer growled. That was when the humans struck. Morrison's fleet didn't just match Coalition tech, they surpassed it. Their ships weaved impossible formations, fired adaptive weapons the swarm couldn't counter. Dr. Park predicted swarm vectors before they happened. Sam Rodriguez fused human and coalition tech into hybrid weapons that baffled enemy adaptations. Sarah Kim led mixed squadrons in maneuvers that shredded swarm clusters, and then came the greatest shock, Admiral Kate Rogers. Her fleet emerged from deep space, Earth's solar defense force, ships larger and more advanced than any coalition warship. Stern, battle-hardened, Rogers took command with ruthless efficiency. "We're here to help, Admiral Crixton," she said, "but we fight our way." The battle raged 3 days. Human ingenuity paired with coalition firepower turned the tide. When weapons failed, humans improvised. When the swarm adapted, humans evolved faster. The climax came with Morrison himself. In an experimental craft, he dove into the swarm's heart to deliver a quantum disruption device designed by Park to fracture the